What is up? What is up, YouTube? This is Eddie Picasso, and this is EddieP number 53 on this Thursday. What is it? Lost track. March 21st, reaching the end of the month, and couldn't be more excited. So things are starting to they're starting to gain traction. They're starting to roll. And again, I've been mentioning for the last few days that so many people are just taking notice of all the content I've been pushing, even though I've slowed down the last week or so, just because it's become like so much stuff going on, and I've got to make sure that I maintain the level of quality for my client. So I do some incantations every morning, and part of it says, I tell to myself that I'm going to provide the best service I'm capable of rendering in the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality in the capacity of a salesman of personal excellence. So I want to sell personal excellence. I want to motivate. I want to inspire others to achieve or to aim for personal excellence, right? And it's one of those things that it's like it's getting drilled in my head every morning, and that's kind of where I'm going with it. As far as trying to reach as many people, but at the same time keeping the level of quality that they deserve, that my audience deserves. And so even if I have to step back a little bit from the actual publishing content to maintain that quality of my current clients, then it's the nature of the beast, and it's something that I'm going to have to deal with. And hopefully I can start building a team pretty soon, and I can ramp things up, right? But first of all, I've got to set those systems in place, and that's what I've been doing. That's what I actually did this morning. Today's one of those days that, by the way, beautiful morning in South Texas. The sun's out, guns out, as you can see. Well, not very much guns, but a little bit more casual today. I so missed the summer, ready for it. And that being said, today was one of those days where it actually slowed down for me, and I got to catch up on a lot of things, and I got to set up a lot of my CRM systems, which I still have more to do, but I did a big step forward, big leap forward, which I'm super grateful for. And I'm now getting my day started almost 11 o'clock. But it's good because I've got so much of the housekeeping out of the way, and that's going to help me eventually scale. Once I start bringing on somebody to help me out, I can simply reassign tasks. And so, oh man, these guys stopped all of a sudden, and almost got rear-ended. Well, anyways, so I'm finally hitting the road and getting started. And yesterday I had a really good conversation, a long conversation, about over an hour, with a friend of mine, a connection that I met through Unleash the Power Within from Tony Robbins. And we're talking about it, and we started talking about how weird it was on how when you chase the money, or you chase significance, and a lot of times significance is sought after by a need for more money, a scarcity mentality of wanting more money. Like, at least I can speak for myself that for a long time, significance was a big part of my life. I wanted to fulfill that need for significance, to feel important, and I thought that money was going to get me there. And that's kind of what started my whole journey a couple of years ago. One of the things that started my journey a couple of years ago, where I actually the whole get rich quick scheme, right? It wasn't really get rich quick. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, but nonetheless, I still went in trying to be an entrepreneur, which was a cool thing to do, and totally bombed it. But it goes to show that significance was a big part of my life, and it wasn't. And the harder I tried to succeed that way, like chasing money, is the harder it was, and the more unhappy I was because I wasn't achieving my goals. And it wasn't until I had a change in perspective where I started learning from different people, and I evolved. I grew, right? It was that never-ending process of growth, and my perspective changed. And it was interesting that he asked me, so what are my goals? What are your goals moving forward? And I told him, like, look, it's, as of recently, they've completely changed. It's no longer about a need for significance. It's more of a growing in spirituality, continue to grow so I can eventually turn around and contribute beyond myself and pay it forward. And it's interesting that, and we started talking about that. And I started I started getting kind of religious, kind of spiritual, because it's played a big part of my life the last year or so, and it's a big reason for a lot of the big changes that I've made. And I told him about my experiences, my what do you call them, I don't know, like religious experience, you can say, I guess. And so I said that religion was starting to be a big part of my life, and so that's a big motivator for me. And we started talking about how interesting it is that chasing all that money all that time, and all of a sudden you just a little tweak, a little 10% change in direction, it just makes the world of difference. Like I'm no longer worrying about money. I'm in the worst shape I've ever been in my life financially, yet I'm the happiest I've ever been, just because it's no longer about money. It's more about that love for that love, period, right? And so now that it's more about giving and helping others, it's like God works in interesting ways, because everything that I was chasing before that I couldn't achieve on purpose it's actually coming around to me now that I have a giving heart, and my focus has changed into a giving heart. And it's like now I'm all that I was chasing before is just naturally being attracted to me, kind of like the law of attraction. And so it was interesting. And then it's interesting because we were talking about the very subject, and then this morning when I was going through my priming exercises, and I read my scripture, the very first verse of Proverbs 31 says, I am weary, God, but I can prevail. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm tired, like I've gone through the struggles, to the hurdles, but I know I can prevail. It's another way to say this, the way it was said in Jeremiah, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. And it's like, just knowing that, having that sense of security, that knowing that he's got this, it's like I know I can prevail, right? And then a little further down on Proverbs 30, it goes on to say, don't give me riches, nor don't give me, I guess, poor. Don't give me poverty nor riches. Give me just enough for my daily bread. And it's like it's part of a prayer, right? You just give me my daily bread. And it's interesting because for a long time I was chasing the riches and trying to make it, right? And it's like now that I'm stopping that, now that I am comfortable and I'm happy and I'm grateful for what I have, it's like I'm getting enough. But that's another subject we talked about yesterday, how I was so anxious. I fought anxiety, I fought depression because I wasn't making the money that I wanted to make. And it's like at some point during my journey, I realized that like money would just come from anywhere, somewhere, just to make it another month and make it another month. And it's like, oh my gosh, like why am I working my ass off? Why am I worrying so much when I know that he's got this and he's gonna provide it? He's got his own ways of providing, and he works in mysterious ways. And why worry about it? Instead, just give that full energy into faith and belief. And that's my rant for this morning. I hope that helps. Hope that makes sense, like always. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay frosty, my friends. I love you guys.